So I managed to finish the painting on that one wall, but that's as far as I could go today because it's been excruciatingly hot, and obviously it's all bouncing off the walls. When I went downstairs, James was doing the plumbing and he was way too hot as well, so we decided just call it quits for the day and we'll carry on tomorrow. We do know that it's going to cool down as we go through the week a little bit, enough to make it a bit more comfortable with us, but we're wise enough now to know when it does get to this sort of temperature, you just got to know when to back off. So I've been walking the dogs now because I'm out of breath. It's 7 o'clock in the evening. It's still very, very warm. But really, all you can do is lounge around, go down the beach, or do what I'm doing now. I'm really looking forward to a cold shower and hopefully a cooler start for tomorrow. Out of sight, out of mind. Damn spa. So yeah, all know I went back on the roof this morning and I just felt too hot, so I'm not going to fight it. I've come back here. I think one of the reasons is because we've put a lot of energy into doing that roof and getting it to this stage. We're over the halfway mark now. It's a big job that we did there, and it's a pivotal moment in the renovation of this house. But I do have something I want to do inside the bus to make my winter going forward as comfortable and as short as possible. Come on. There we go. Right, I'm going to stop there for a moment. Dogs are barking, got to take them for a walk. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. I'll carry on with this tomorrow. It's going to be a few seconds for you, maybe a minute or two, because I've got to do a little bit of work on the roof tomorrow morning, and then we'll come back and sort this out. That colour there, that's probably our option for the features around the house. good. So we've got one more of these guttering pieces to go on to the end here, but we're not going to do that just yet, because really we want to finish this part over here so that we've got that whole section coming down the roof completed, and then we can play around with it. And it worked out really well. It just goes to show it pays off to put all that effort in at the very beginning, because we just put a spirit level on this and it is slightly going down, so all the water is going to go in this direction. So that worked out pretty good. So you know, when I was rendering this, I was covering over the concrete pour and I was just blending it into this lower section, because this actually, although it's a little bit wavy, was in good condition. And you're not going to see this, it's only going to be from above my hand here to the underside there that you're going to see, and even then it's only going to be when you're up a ladder. So I wanted to make sure that across here was really well finished and smooth and blending in nicely with the bit that I did last week. And as I mentioned, with this paint, the 3-in-1, it's worked really well. So we'll come back to this next week, and as you know, when we do this, we are going to be using the original tiles along here to match and blend in with the neighbour's house. And I know James wants to, where I put those tiles back, just have a little play with that so they're fixed into the wall. And they will be along here as well, so there will be a little bit of a change over there, but hopefully the next week this whole area is going to be finished and we can move forward and get on with the inside. James now's continuing with the plumbing and we'll carry on with that tomorrow, but I need to dash back now and finish what I was doing yesterday. Blimey, it's hot. Oh, it would help if I opened the door, wouldn't it? Now, can I bring quite heavy, I'd say this is, and with no handles on it, made it a bit fiddly. I couldn't bear hug it up the steps. It was attached to a pallet board down here with a bracket and screws, and I couldn't get to them until I took the sides off. So anywho, it's on there now, and next to it was a fan the whole time. I didn't realise, so I was sweating away. Doors open now, letting a bit of air in here, which has cooled it down a little bit. So in case you're wondering, it's a pellet burner. And why did I get it? Put a salamander in here, thinking that was probably the best way of warming this bus. If nothing else, probably I would just go with the fact that I like to see the flame. It was a low kilowatt one as well, but the problem now afterwards, and sometimes you have to go through these experiences to learn. Salamander, I would have to keep putting stuff in here, and probably 4 times over the night, and I'd go to bed. Obviously it would go out, and then I'd wake up cold, not damp, just cold, go to the toilet, and then I'd have to wake myself up to put more wood in here, and often I'd have to restart it again, and that just interrupts the sleep patterns. And last year was all right because I was pottering around here, but now that we're doing the house in the village, that's a whole different thing, and I need the sleep. The nice thing about this, apart from, I know it's ugly, is that I can have it on all night. The pellets are cheaper than the wood, so it's going to be more efficient. It's quite cheap to run as well, and I can have it running from the Bluetti. But it means now that with a timer on there and with a remote control, I can really control how it works in this room so that I can make sure that this winter is going to feel very short. I'm doing it now because if I wait any longer, I'll get to that point where everyone else wants one and they start buying it and they don't have too many in stock. So I'll end up having to wait for it, which means I'm going to end up with a handful of cold nights. And if I decided to do this then we might get some rain, and then of course I'm going to have a hole up there. So now, without any rush, I can fill that all back up, get some fiberglass up there, make sure this bus is watertight, get this set up, and we're good and ready. I feel the need to get off of this roof. So it's the last little section boarded up. So now fill it up with concrete, get one last brick on the end there, and that's the roof completely sealed in. How long's that taking, James?
It's taken 9 hours for the little hole and 5 hours, about 5.5 hours for that bigger hole.
Wow. Epic. But it is fantastic. So now we can get the pipes in and get it all completely covered. Well done, James.
Ooh, it's through.
How much further?
That's enough.
That's enough, darling. It's not coming.
Oh, actually, I can't move either.
Now let's put this down again.
Yeah.
Mind your head.
Oh. 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 Oh.
There you go. You can reach here.
It's so tight down there. That it's really awkward. It's awkward getting the bucket down there. That's good.
Yeah, see. Like that.
So if you watch my videos, you'll know that I have a pool table that I only relatively recently brought back from the house in the village where it was stored because it belonged to Louise, the cafe owner. So I bought it off him and only recently brought it back. Storing it in the house there does have all the parts to it, but it's been a bit weathered and needs a little bit of TLC. So I'm really looking forward to putting that together and giving it a little Andy touch. I am planning on it being outdoors as well, but it needs to be under a shelter, obviously. And obviously it needs to wait until I've got a bit further with this house. So it's a little bit in the future. But someone obviously saw that video. And I'll have to show you this because I think it's amazing that someone would go out of their way to send me these beautiful pool balls. And that was sent to me from Germany. Gerard Kreisman, Andrea, and their 4 cats. Sorry if I butchered your names. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But Gerard also left a little note telling me that he was a keen wood turner and made these. How cool are they? This one, they're 3 little just ornaments, balls on little stands, and each stand is different. This one is a spalted maple. That one is yew, and that one, my favorite, is spalted beech. Absolutely love that, and they feel really good to the touch. I believe that this lid must be the same wood as well. But in there, perfect for my tea bags, and 2 salt mills there. One of those will be going to Christina, as well as the bowl that was sent, which she already has. Absolutely brilliant. Got me thinking as well, because once upon a time I owned a wood lathe, only a small wood lathe, and I didn't use it a huge amount, but I always wanted to sort of get into that sort of thing. So eventually, like everything is eventually further down the line, I want a little workshop. And if I can get a wood metal lathe, 2 things, then I'm going to have hours and hours of fun working with those. So yeah, brilliant. And thanks for jogging my memory about lathes. Really pleased with that. James done a great job. All the pipes now are set in place, ready for us to put some concrete on there. You just saw that we were putting some water over the top there, since this soil has a bit of clay in it, and it might just help compact it a little bit. I haven't, as you noticed, been doing much videoing in here. James has, so you'll be able to see it in one of his future videos. The Quinta, Quinta, and I'll put a link in the description. So next week when we come back, we are hoping to get all the concrete pours, wait for that car, all the concrete pours done in one hit. So we'll be doing the flooring down here, boxing in the columns either side here, and the stairwell. And when we've done that, for those people that are a little bit unsure as to the layout of this house, it will start to make some sense. We're also going to go back up onto the flat roof at the back because we want to put a picture on that, as you know. Hopefully we'll get that sorted out, ready to put the old traditional tiles on there. And if nothing else, we'll at least get this whole area completely cleared out. Is that time? Splash and dash. It's a little bit later in the afternoon, but it's not going to stop because it's incredibly hot and very sweaty. So I'm going to go and enjoy that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend and the rest of the week. Until next week, look after yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye. I know, but you're going to have to get out.